Hello there everyone, this is H to the Husky here, and today I'm going to be playing a game against Fourier and Kaelaris. This is a PvZ on Scrap Station. God, that was a terrible impression. I should do. Hello there everyone, this is K to the Kaelaris here. Oh, maybe not. Let's just ignore that. Anyway, hello, welcome back to my channel. This is my channel where I cast Protoss games only because I love Protoss, and for now they are only my own games. This probe doing a little dance here and doing a little jig, and I am throwing down that pylon at 9, making sure that I can get as many probes down as possible. My opponent, as I said before, is Fourier. He is a diamond player, and this is the first time I've ever casted a match quite like this, so we shall see how it goes. He's now moving his Overlord to do a little bit of scouting. And I'm just chrono boosting some probes out in order to make sure that I can get up a nice economy. This probe again doing a little bit of a jig, waiting to put down that gateway. I'm talking in a really weird way. I should probably stop that. Anyway, this probe is now moving out to do a bit of scouting. He's also sending his second Overlord out to get in a nice position to make sure I'm not doing anything too dodgy. He also putting down his first extractor at 14. I think that was 15. No, it was 14. It was 14. Definitely 14, yes. Good. This Overlord now getting perilously close to this gateway to spot it, but everyone puts a gateway down at this time, so there's not much that you can do with Protoss standard openers. It's just a case of doing exactly the same thing. Hello, Ovi. How you doing? Oh, he's such a cute Overlord. Anyway. This Overlord going to get the site, no doubt, but he can't get it, so he's just going to be scouting to make sure I'm not doing anything funny. He's now throwing down his spawning pool, almost half done, fending my probe off, positioning this Overlord in the middle, and I am now getting my first assimilator. Production tab. We love the production tab. His spawning pool is almost finished, and hopefully I should be throwing down my cybernetics core soon. There we go. Getting out this first zealot to make sure I can fend off any early zergling harass, and he's constantly chasing this probe, so I'm running for dear life. I don't like probes. And he's bringing out his first queen. Chrono boosting more probes out so I can get my economy up. This Overlord nicely placed to see if I'm actually have this tower. Sending this probe back to grab this tower and do a little bit more scouting. I'm sure he was going for a gas steal at that point, so I threw down an assimilator just before he could grab that, which was nice timing. This Zergling coming out, gonna spot this probe, but run straight past. No? What's he doing? He's like spazzing out. Anyway, this Overlord getting in a nice place again. A few Zerglings on this ramp. And I believe he is sending out this probe to grab himself a fast expansion. Oh, reminds me of Ghost Hatchery. I love you, Sai. Anyway, he's now just injecting, making sure he can get enough larvae out. Zergling hanging out there. And now I'm throwing down my gateways in order to make a 4-gate push. Again, this is just my standard opener that I go against most Zerg. Fourier now researching his metabolic boost, sending a few Zerglings up here to spot this pylon that I was setting up for a proxy, but nicely scouted there by Fourier. This expansion half done now, chasing off this probe. He'll soon be able to kill it because his metabolic boost just kicked in. He's now producing a second queen, and I'm producing my second zealot. I do have a stalker out to make sure I can shoo off anything. These gates almost done. I'm also boosting out my warp gate technology. Throwing down another pile on there to make sure I don't psylock myself. I am very prone to psylocking myself recently. In fact, recently I have been playing absolutely god-awful. So, don't take any tips from me at all recently. It's terrible. These Zerglings now moving out to grab a forward position on the map in Fourier's favour, but going to run up this ramp and see that there is a bit of a block off going on, so it can't get up. Although he does run past and gets into my base. Ugh. Playing so sluggishly at this point, bringing all my probes off the line to make sure that these Zerglings can't kill anything. Bringing these around to make sure I can try and fend it off. But at this point, Fourier has great coverage of the map. He can see what's going on around most of the key points of the map. Bringing these Zerglings in again to do a bit of harassment. Lagging, what the hell's going on? Anyway, ignore the lag, sorry about that. These Zerglings now being shooed off quite nicely. However, Fourier does have his expansion up and is beginning to put probes on the line there. These probes have been brought off gas now, and he's just powering these speedlings. This queen sluggishly walking over there. There's creep tumors down. Nice to see some spreading of the creep. And more Zerglings. At this point I should have been scouting a little bit more, getting a few more zealots out, since he was going more of a Zergling build at this point. Moving out slightly with these troops, bring this probe along to be able to set up a forward proxy pylon so I can warp in units. Quite a nice group of units here, but running into these balls of Zerglings is going to give me a headache and a half. These queens just chilling out here. He does have more queens on the way, as well as an evolution chamber and a layer. I myself am just powering out the units here from these 4 gates. Trying not to get myself Psylocked and anything like that, but I am almost Psylocked. Ah! Spreading the creep again, as you can see there, and just powering these Zerglings. Has tons of Zerglings now, and 4 queens to support, which is massive at this point. Setting up this forward pylon and sending out a Zergling to scout, and you does see this set up here. Bringing these zealots around, since I didn't have this pylon set up just in time. Does have this drone here, nicely scouting this expansion to see if I do take it. And chrono boosting these gateways to make sure that the cooldowns are as quick as possible. Now going to make a push up to see what I can find. And I'm going to run into a lot of Zerglings! Coming into the fray now, these Zerglings getting in the action, throwing up a Guardian Shield for some reason, don't know why. Sloppy play, throwing down a force field in order to make sure that these Zerglings don't get full surround on all these units, but these queens are just ripping away in conjunction with these Zerglings and are going to take out my forces extremely easily at this point, trying to reinforce with quite a few zealots. These are coming up, these Zerglings moving back, and these queens trying to take as much damage as possible. In fact, he probably could transmute at this point, but he does not transmute, no. More Zerglings flooding in, as well as this queen coming back down here. Creep tumors also being spread. He's now researching Zerg melee attacks level 1. These Zerglings fending off this push quite easily, in essence. I did take out a lot of Zerglings, but not as many as I would have liked to have done. So that push has been defended, now throwing up these 2 extractors, and I was also throwing down a lot more drones onto this expansion. More Zerglings in the production, 14 Zerglings coming out very soon, moving out with more Stalkers and more Zealots. These Zerglings coming around for a surround again, and these queens pounding away at these Stalkers. I shouldn't have kept pushing. Keeping pushing at this point is an extremely bad idea, so I advise people not to at all. As you can see, I'm bringing in more zealots, just bringing them to their deaths, taking down a lot of these Zerglings, to be fair, but it's not going to do a whole lot of good at this point. He is now bringing a Spire into play, so whilst fending off this, he's still able to tech up. Great play from Fourier. I got there, Fourier there. Throwing down more creep tumors in order to give himself a bit more of an advantage on the defensive. Trying to warp in quite a contingent of units here, just warped in 4 zealots, 4 stalkers, and I will be warping in a few sentries here in order to throw down some guardian force fields. A lot of chrono boost on here. I should be chrono boosting these gates. We shall see if I do that soon. Throwing down some spine crawlers in order to aid his efforts in defending. This Spire is now half done, so it's going to be injecting, continuing to inject. Great macro there from Fourier. And I do chrono boost these gates, so that's, at least I'm keeping up on that. Now I've got quite a lot of units out here, warping in 2 zealots and 2 stalkers there. These overlords can spot my units quite easily. All these creep tumors now giving him a massive advantage, trying to block that off to prevent him reinforcements coming from down there, but as you can see, all the Zerglings are already down here, trying to throw more force fields down in order to block off these Zerglings, but the spine crawlers and queens are having a field day with these stalkers and zealots, and it's just too much at this point. whilst this is going on, he does have this Spire up, and he has 8 Mutalisks in building, so this is great play from Fourier controlling this 4-gate push. All these Zerglings being able to surround this quite easily, and they're going to take out this proxy pylon. Whilst that's happening, I have nothing in my base to fend off anything. These Mutalisks are almost done, and I'm going to have nothing to defend, so it's looking extremely bad for me right now. Oh, what a game. These Mutalisks now out and completed. He's going to be sending these over. Mutalisks. I do have one probe in the production, so hopefully that'll fend him off. But it doesn't seem so. So yeah, that was pretty much me getting trounced by a very good Zerg player, in my opinion. He's the best Zerg player I've met so far, and fending off my 4-gate extremely well with these Zerglings and queens, 4 queens out, which was fantastic. And then transitioning into these Mutalisks, which just put me on the back burner from there on. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I suppose it shows that I'm not afraid to show my losses. It was a very valiant loss, but I was outclassed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.